Good evening, everyone, and welcome to the Adopt a Youth Foundation Personal Development Session. I am Richard Lawrence, and it is good to have you on board this evening. We are looking forward to having a very impactful time. A few weeks ago, we had part one to the series looking at our own talent line being expressed, pushing our talent line and finding where we are in speaking to the good life. What drives my passion? So in part one, we had presenters from among our mentorship team, our mentors and mentees, and it was exciting, it was good. And matter of fact, it was so, what's the word, enthralling, that we didn't get a chance for everyone to give maximum of what was on their heart, which is a good thing because we are speaking to passion. And it was obvious that our mentees and our mentors are passionate people. And we wanted to give an opportunity for all of us to benefit from this passion that is coupled with purpose. Passion is good. It's like a fire. Fire is good, and the invention of fire changed, revolutionized mankind's existence. But fire that is not controlled can be very destructive. And so we are becoming accurate with our passion, accurate with our fire. And we welcome everyone on the call right now to a second part in the series of pushing your talent line. Pressing my talent line, speaking to the good life. What drives my passion? I am going to hand over to the leader of tonight's session, Apostle Steely, who actually celebrated his 65th birthday this week. The celebrations continue. So we again say happy birthday to director in the Adopt a Youth Foundation, a man who has mentored me for decades. I remember meeting him in the early 1990s. He's a very shy, reserved young man. And to the point now, I had a meeting with a colleague of mine from Trinidad a few days ago, and I mean, I'm a brand new person. So this man knows what he's doing. He has been doing it and helping persons for decades. So, Apostle Steely, over to you, sir.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Thank you. Thank you very much. And I'm proud of you. And it's really nice to see you not only as a student of life, but a student of the Bible. And
Yes, God.
The progress is noticeable. Hallelujah. Greetings to the AYF family. And as you've heard, Pastor Richard, Uncle Richie, or whatever you call him, about where we have gone in this journey. So we continue our journey this evening, and I want to say congratulations to Auntie Jilly and Uncle Richie and all the other directors and mentors and mentees and workers in AYF for the stellar work that we have done and accomplished so far. It's really you have to go far and wide to really see and appreciate what awesome work has been done. I want to say thanks for especially this the involvement here. As you heard, I'm a director, so I'm integrally involved, but in relation to this program, this topic that we're dealing with, I want to say thanks to Julie and Kashin for their presentation in the last edition. And Marva did not get a chance to really look at what she loves to look at, and I know that she would have tailored some of her presentation. But Marva is with me this evening, and I'm going to just ask Marva to jump right in and continue her presentation, and then after that I'll come and say a few words. Okay, so and newly minted evangelist Mavonin Edwards. All right, so just big up on receiver. Go ahead, Mavs.
Good evening, everybody. Thank you so much, Apostle. It's always so feeling so excited to hear that new intro. But anyways, welcome everybody. Thank you guys so much for joining, and we're off to a great start. So, pressing my talent line, speaking to the good life, what drives my passion. So I'm not so sure how many of you guys were here or listening or from last week or the time we had. But I had went through a couple of things real quickly, and I'd just like to recap and then get into it. So I spoke about my life in a nutshell and how much it is such a testimony, such a true reflection of this theme, of this whole topic. And there was a period where I had no idea what was happening, because everything I thought for myself, God just said, whoop, 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 360, not even 180, 60, into a full 360. And what was happening is that He was trying to, mold me and make me into something beautiful. A part of it was music ministry and just singing, playing the piano. Always had that goal as a child, but I kind of grew up in that era where them say gospel people don't really make no money. If you hear that already, put a 2 down below, because I can't be the only one who heard that, right? And so you kick out some dreams out of it. However, God, I said the truth. God knew what was happening, and so I had applied for a school, didn't work out, and I was at a point where what, I had given up on everything because it was just not going my way. However, God blessed me with princes in place, right? And they have influenced my life, and I was very obedient, even in the season of not knowing. I had 1 year at home, can't go to school, no money, can't, or not, it wasn't provided at the time. And I was getting a job. And that was 1 year of being home alone with yourself, with your own thoughts. In that 1 year, I had, worked on myself, worked on who I was, working on getting my relationship with God there, and just trying to focus on, I can't get no work, can't go to school. What's the next best thing? Music. I have a piano that I was using at the time, and it wasn't, some of the keys weren't working, but hey, I was using what I had. And I shared something in with some of my friends the other day, and I told them that for my voice, and this might come as a shock to many people, I really disliked my voice, right? And I really never liked what it sounded like. And this is one of the things that I want to really point out, the equation that's happening here. I think the phrasing of tonight's theme is literally an equation. Let me tell you, pursuing my talent line, speaking to the good life, a lot of times, as young people would call it, our best life, right? Living the best life, Apostle, that's what we young people call it, the best life and whatever. And that's what most of us seek, the good life. We seek the good life. So we're not really press the talent line, because what we're focused on is the good life, which we all want. It's something that we all desire to have. However, there are steps in place, life has rules. And so a lot of persons will go after what the good life represents, or what the good life looks like out there, or the outward influences of the good life, when truth be told is that's not the case. Like, as young people, if you were to do a background check on what persons post as they're living their best life and what they're actually living, is sometimes it's the complete opposite. And if you agree with me, Put a one down in the chat if you agree with me. But one of the things I realized that I was not doing as a musician, as somebody with a talent that God had blessed me with, was that I was not pressing. I was not pressing. And that's where the drive of passion came in. I had to now really find out what was happening. And pressing is putting in a different kind of effort. Pressing is really getting into it and knowing what it's about. So it wasn't until last year the AYF Foundation actually helped me with this. I was put in a program called the AYF Must Bust Talent, and one of my coaches, well, my coach, Janine J. Coombs, she was the one who made me fall in love with my voice. Why? Because I was forced to press into what it represents, press into the skill sets, press into the disciplines. And then the more I got deeper into finding out my voice and music and everything, it's the more I realized, hold on, I love this, I really, really love this. And this is a avenue that I got from the AY Foundation, right? And it was until that point I really fell in love with my voice. And I'm sharing this with you, in a different light on it, because I feel like a lot of us sometimes we don't know what that talent is, or we don't know what that is. And I normally say to my friends, if your neighbor, if you know, say neighbor make a plane, like this big plane, right? Pardon my analogy, right? And you want to find out more about the plane, you get a homework and the teacher gives you some deep questions. Would you go to Google, or would you just go to your neighbor and the neighbor they write this? Just comment down below. If it's your neighbor, make the plane, like the plane that she's giving you, questions about. Would you go to Google to search it up or here, or would you just go to your neighbor and say, hey, what's up with the plane, right? That's what we would all do, right? At least that's what I would do, because I would get accurate information because I invent the plane. And I normally share that analogy with my friends to let them know that, very, minor example, but God is the one who made us, God is the one who created us. God is the one who, from head to toe. So if you are so seeking what your talent line represents and what exactly to press into, whatever it is, then it's only one person you can go to. It's only one man you can see. It's one man you can press into. And it's God, because he can answer all the questions you have about your talent or whatever. And I spoke last week about things that drive my passion, the desires of my heart. So I just wanted to do better. I wanted to do well. And I watch as those desires, like guys, from you desire something, the moment you desire something, and that's why you have to, pray to, get that desire going. The moment you desire something, God is going to shift things in place. And then it comes your choices, God is going to shift things in place. I desire to know more about my voice. What did God do? Gave me the AY Foundation, gave me a chance to develop my voice. I wanted to play music. I was practicing when nobody was looking. I was practicing when I didn't have a keyboard at the time. What did God do? Put a Prince in place, give me a brand new keyboard, got us 3-year scholarship. Boom, just like that. And this is really this is me. I was pressing in my talent, like I was pressing and pressing, and the things just start lining up in place. And the pressing has a lot to do with your best practices, and that's another thing that drives my passion. When I realized, say, hey, if I move left, surely goodness and mercy follow me. When I go over there, so all these righteousness are added onto me, then hey, let me tell you, I'm gonna keep on doing it, right? And just as I said before, speaking to God and talking to God and just understanding who you are, all of that. So the promises of God, that's the most important thing. The promises of God. When I read the Bible, or just living like a kingdom citizen, right? And God said to you, the word of the Lord said, I'm going to put you in places of the greats, right? You mean it. You mean it. I have sat in places with some greats. What's the saxophonist again? I forget his name just up. But I've sat in room with great producers, musicians, build relationship with people who've been playing for years, all different styles and everything. And it showed me that really and truly, guys, the more you press into your talent line, the more you press into your talent line is the more you speak to the good life, right? And I'm here to encourage you. I'm here to encourage you. Whatever skill you have, whatever talent, whatever it is, you might not be sure, you might be questioning, you might have many, you might think you have one, but it's for you to genuinely press into that, develop that desire, and I'm telling you, I am telling you, I'm not asking you, I'm telling you that the good life has to follow you. The good life has to follow you, and not just to be wayward with it or opinionated with it. I'm gonna give you a factual statement. And I was doing a devotion this week, and this scripture is what God gave me. Isaiah 1, verse 19. It says, "If ye be willing and obedient, ye shall eat the good of the land." If ye be willing and obedient, ye shall eat the good of the land. And so ye shall eat the good of the land. You shall eat the good of the land. And so you realize that the good life, the best life is actually possible, right? So guys, I'm encouraging you, press into your talent line. Don't matter what, and you're supposed to be you, you're supposed to sound, look, dress like you, and trust me, you will definitely speak to the good life. So I'm going to share a song with you that I wrote, and it's more of a reggae vibe, a groove type of vibe. It's more out of my comfort zone, but it's something that, you know, I felt resonated with me, and I'm going to play it for you. Believe me, that is me playing, right? And I really, really do hope you enjoy it. Listen to the words, vibe with it. If you hear anything that you like, comment down below, right? Great. I'm on a journey to see God's face. In all my working, I'll seek His grace. All matters concerns Him and His holy name. I gotta keep the fire burning and never lose my flame. I gotta keep my focus, my lens not shifting. Nothing here bogus, talents I'm gifted. Sing my chorus, keep saints uplifted. Get in line, this is the time. This is my purpose that I'm walking. Ignore the persons, they keep talking. Even though things look rough and the times look hard, joy comes in the morning. This is my purpose that I'm walking. Ignore the persons, they keep talking. Even though things look rough and the pressure's on, my calling's calling. Ooh, my calling's calling. The path you've taken, it might seem long, but you gotta have patience, for your time will come. The Lord has never forsaken, He gave His only Son, so your purpose activated. You got to stay strong. I gotta keep my focus, my lens not shifting. Nothing here bogus, talents I'm gifted. Sing my chorus, keep saints uplifted. Get in line, your time to shine. This is my purpose that I'm walking. Ignore the persons that keep talking. Even though things look rough and the pressure's on, joy comes in the morning. This is my purpose. My purpose I'm walking. Even though things look rough and the pressure's on, Let me tell you now, I'm walking in my purpose now. Nothing that they do can ever hurt us now. I got my mind on the go, they can divert us now. Can't farm the fool, we have to perk up now. Oh gosh, the time feel like a circus, yes. Gotta stay assertive to receive what's next. So yes, the fire only comes to test. The best in us can mess this up. I'm blessed enough. I'm walking in my purpose now. Nothing that they do can ever hurt us now. I got my mind on the go, they can divert us now. Can't farm the fool, we have to perk up now. Oh gosh, the time feel like a circus, yes. Gotta stay assertive to receive what's next. So yes, the fire only comes to test. The best in us can mess this up. I'm blessed enough, I'm blessed enough. Purpose that I'm walking, ignore the persons that keep talking. Even though things look rough and the times look hard, joy comes in the morning. A purpose that I'm walking. Oh yeah, yeah. So pressing my talent line, speaking to the good life. Oh my, gonna let this talent shine, reaping all the good in Christ. Pressing my talent line, I'm speaking to the good life, the good life, the good life in Christ. The good life in Christ. The good life in Christ. In Christ. In Christ. Good life is Christ. Thank you so much.
You're muted, sir.
Thank you very much. Thank you, Marva. Thank you very much. As an original, I'm impressed. I am properly impressed with the kind of presentations that went from my three angels. They didn't only draw from other people's work, which in some cases they did, but majority of it was their own experience. And one of the things that I'm most impressed with is their honesty in their presentation. And I know, I'm not naive, I know that young people, AIF members, and not only young people, but people in general, go through struggles like these and challenges like these, and from time to time would have found themselves struggling to find the right road to choose. And a part of this whole, and so I say again, welcome to this session, and whenever you see my face, it is the psychospiritual workshop. And I call it that because we walk on our Isaac, which is a psychological approach, and we seek always, well, I seek always to find the Christ in whatever else, in whatever I'm doing. Now, I always present from a background of, just like how the little angels presented in honesty and about themselves, I present from the background of being a Christian. And not only a Christian, but one who is entrusted by the Lord God Almighty to present the kingdom's side of the story. I have a friend who whenever we meet to talk, she always say, oh, she always says, so young man, what is your story now? No, yes, I'm a young man to her. I mean, she's a retired English teacher, and she's so, when you look at her, you just see the classroom, you know, and she is witty and she is smart, she's bright, everything. And her main thing that I remember her saying to me is, young man, what is your story now? So one day I asked her, what you talking about, auntie? And she said, well, everybody have a story, and teaching in a boys' school for so long, I know I'm going to get one side of the story when we first talk. So regardless of, regardless of your age and whatever, you still have a story. I concur. We all have a story, and sometimes many stories. Now, when I present, I like whether it is face to face or not. I like to challenge the people that I am working with, the people that I'm presenting to, the people to whom this whole matter of pressing our talent line and speaking to the good life. And Marva, it is wonderful that you guys, I didn't even know, I didn't realize that that's what you do, that you say you are speaking to the best life, right? For the purpose of this presentation, we are saying speaking to the good life, but you go right ahead with your speaking to your best life. I didn't even have that, in mind when I pulled together this presentation. Now, the challenge is, I'm not wondering if we are doing well tonight, and we did well the last time. I'm not wondering if maybe something good can come out of this. I don't talk like that. I speak to the good life. I speak to the good life in myself and in my friends and in other people who are willing to work with what we are working with. Again, I say we have been given something of what I call the Isaac. In other words, the natural, the psychological, to work with, and in some cases it can take us thus far. That's all of life is a calculated guess in most parts, and that's the whole psychology of the study of human behavior, right? So that's the best we can do there is a calculated guess. Whatever decision, however the amount of meetings we have, and however, the accolades we have and the different things that we put our hand to and whatever, the best we can do is a calculated guess. We could take suggestions from Julie, we could take some from Kashin, could take some from Marva, and you could take some from me, maybe if you want to. And there are many other people who are motivational speakers and people who speak to what could be considered the good life. But then the other side of the story is that spirituality, why I call it the psycho-spiritual workshop, spirituality is not a calculated guess. Spirituality is a direct art. And the gift of salvation to mankind procures that direct and accurate art of operation for us to be able to work with. So I always present with challenges, and for example, in my early years as a minister, I would present with the kind of a cross T and dot I's and everything because that's what I learned as I was growing up. No, I don't do that anymore. I just like we are in school, in day school. The teacher present or the lecturer present, and we have to be working along with him or her. I believe that's a good way of learning. And what we are doing here is learning. Now, as I have always said, when we are putting ourselves to learning, we want to be our best self. We want to be our best self. Apostle Steely, sign below. Right? We want to be our best self. And it means that I'm inviting you to come to the place where we are working together. So now I don't present anymore purporting to be the most knowledgeable one, giving all the answers and telling you where to find it. I challenge my audience to work with me so we can accomplish more and most, or the best life out of what we have to work with. So right now, I'm going to continue the presentation off camera. I'm not going to pay attention to attention span. I'm going to give you a little of what we got in the colleges and universities of life. Not that they were presenting off camera, but most lecturers presented whether you want it or not, whether you like it or not. Now, I don't have that approach, whether you like it or not, but I'm saying you have to challenge yourself to relate to what else we have to say. The cadre of presenters that we have had did extremely well, and I'm just a batsman coming, the jurors coming down the order to swing for the boundary and the stands and the hills, so that we can tip the score up to a nice level. So I want to thank you for your cooperation. And with a shepherd's heart, I'm saying to you, the positions, the posture that you adopt is, I hope it is good for learning, because something good is about to happen. No, don't find yourself in a position where you have to be worrying about the attention span, because I'm not. I'm trusting you to pay attention to what it is that we are working with now, and keep yourself in the position of learning, and make your arrangements to record, and we go rather swiftly to a point of victory as we continue to be our best self. Okay? So here we go. We continually present ourselves pushing like other people. It's not that it's a bad thing. Actually, it's a very good thing. It's an awesome thing. But we struggle on many occasions to hold on to the exploits of known greats of the past. I saw a young man once with a pendant around his neck, and there was a photograph on it, and it was a colored photograph, and I said to him, and we were sharing space in the moment of me being the chaplain for their organization, and I said to him, whose inscription is that? Who's that? Whose photograph is that on your chest? And he said to me, Melchizedek. And I said, Melchizedek? He said, yes, sir. I said, yes, Rev. I said, you knew Melchizedek? And he said, no, Rev, I don't know him, but my father said that this is Melchizedek. And I said, so who took Melchizedek's photograph? And I recognized that what his father had done to him is giving him an idea. Him, now the father, not recognizing that in Melchizedek's day, they could not have produced a photograph like that. But he was wearing Melchizedek on his chest. And I said, well, ask your father if he'd be so kind as to come one day with you, and so we can sit and talk. Because I'm going to tell you that cannot be Melchizedek. I don't like to move people from what them father tell them say, but that cannot be Melchizedek. And he said, yes, Reverend, he was really going at it to say. And I said, all right, let's agree to disagree. That cannot be Melchizedek. And when your father comes, we'll have a discussion on the matter, if he comes. Because it's a thing of human beings that some of us don't care. Some of us don't care at all. Talking about pressing talent line and what drives my passion. You know, they try to speak to the good life, but it being substanceless and baseless. Not much happens. And I loathe that and present with a surety that this will not happen to you this evening. We struggle. We know our greats. We know our heroes. We not know, but we know of our heroes. And some of us, well, we know Usain Bolt and we know Chris Gayle, and we know we know Mandela from afar, and we know of Marcus, and we know of Jesus Christ, and we know of you put Jesus. Yeah. Some of us know of Jesus Christ, but him being us being able to relate to Jesus in a spiritual way. Many people, many misguided folks from our sphere of living don't know Jesus, and it is the heart-burning concern of mine that so many young people don't know Jesus Christ. Well, I want to say, whether or not you're a religious person or a Christian person, or however you are, there are some truisms that piece that I just presented a while ago would and should give you an idea of where to go in order to be successful. Within us, within you, latent strengths and abilities are to be found that you have not yet pressed. And with patience, discipline, and passion will allow you to develop a better accuracy in the pressing of your talent line. Now, patience and discipline can be and can seem very boring. Yeah. Patience and discipline can seem very boring because most times it takes time that young people don't have, or the young people say they don't have. But it takes time for us to be patient and disciplined. Now, our talent line, I want to say in this presentation, whether it be just a hint of it or much of it, I will speak to the steadfastness and willingness of trying to press your talent line. Now, I've heard people messing around with and choking up on whether he's pressing or pushing or whatever. I will speak to that down the road. But the process is essential with pressing your talent line and speaking to the good life. Now, what drives your passion? Now, as we go along, I intend to continue the challenge so that we can describe to ourselves, whether mentally or we're going to write it down, what is the real thing, or what are the real things that is pressing our talent line. But ladies and gentlemen, the process is essential. And there's a statement that I learned from IM that I would like to use here. You can earn while you learn. And I'd like to expand on it a little bit. You can earn, which means you can develop yourself while you are learning your craft, learning what to do and how to do what. There are many things that we do in life that sometimes when we're doing them, we think we have it together, and we don't have it together. We don't know where we are at. We are not sure of where we are at. There are methods in some of the seeming madness. Methods in some of the seeming madness. And the other day I was looking at a movie called The Next Kung Fu Kid, or The Kung Fu Dream, as they call it in China, with Jackie Chan and Jaden Smith in it. When you have some time, have a look at it, because it gives you a exact idea, a psychological idea of what you have your challenges are sometimes. Put on the jacket, take off the jacket, drop it on the ground, put it up and whatever. And Jaden could not have seen what was happening here and what's the sense in all of this. What I give him credit for is that even with him face makeup, him continue working with what Jackie Chan did. And some people are not willing to work, but they want to speak to a good life, but they have no fire in the belly, no backbone. They come to this, and their environment is an arrogant, aggressive one, and they seem to want to copy that and to throw it on the world, and it ain't gonna work. Within the arrogant heart are debilitating characteristics: selfishness, conceit, deceit, such like. These are poisons that, if not addressed, can take one to the abyss of constant frustration. But we can speak to the good life. We can speak to our best life. Sometimes we are challenged with understanding. And this evening I want us to really have a good look, write this down and pay attention to it. Sometimes we have the text versus the context in seeking to glean understanding out of what we are doing. Now, the challenges are real, but I always say, when you are not clear on what it is that the text is saying, give credit to the context. Give some thought to what the context is, and you will find that the text grab your attention and tempt you to rule from that shallow limit, especially when instant fun is involved, because that's what we love to do. We love to relate to the constant fun, because isn't that what it's supposed to be? Isn't that what we're all about? Fun right now? Well, there are loads of lessons to be learned towards your understanding within the context of whatever it is. So don't choke up yourself with the text alone. Work with the context. Right? Even if you are not struggling, look at the context so that you can have a better understanding of the text. Now, let's speak to the good life. I present that the good life is a life of peace and success. Peace. What's peace? Well, can I make a suggestion as what you should see as peace? Peace, according to yours truly, is a state of mutual harmony between God and man. And thus, it's possible between man and man. And so what is success? From some successful people's hearts and minds comes this meaning: the progressive realization of a worthy ideal. And I got that from some colleagues of mine that I worked with some time ago, and in a little way still work with. And what it is saying is that you can check your success ratio, you can check your success as you go along. So you have the bigger picture out there, and along the way, if you move on better from where you started, it's a level of success. And I'm presenting that peace and success is the good life. Okay? Peace and success is the good life. The progressive realization of a worthy ideal, that's success. A state of mutual harmony between God and man, or between man and man. Mutual harmony is peace. All right? So let's press our talent line. Let's look at pressing our talent line. Now, pressing here, and more congratulations. A while ago, I heard you relating to the accuracy of the pressing. Pressing is not, as someone would want to suggest, that pressing is pressure. It's a total different thing when you talk about pressing and pressuring yourself. I'm not asking you to pressure yourself. As a matter of fact, I speak against that. I loathe that. Pressing is pressure. Pressing, from my perspective, and I've learned a while ago from others' perspective, is making genuine efforts. Making genuine efforts, and as righteous as you can make those efforts. Making genuine efforts is pressing. Right? The man said, I press towards the mark of the prize of the high calling. And he said, in Christ Jesus. And I would say the same thing. But you could say that to something else. I am pressing towards the mark for the prize XYZ. You understand? Regardless of what your persuasion. Okay? I don't like to say this, but let me say your religious persuasion. Pressing is making genuine effort, positioning yourself. Now, what do we say about speaking? Well, listen to this. I have 3 pieces, a tripartite explanation for speaking. Speaking from the workshop is desiring well, employing best practices, and calling it on a regular basis. We are speaking to the good life. We are speaking to the good life by desiring the good life, desiring well towards the good life, employing best practices to get to the good life, and calling the good life in a righteous way. Now, what drives your passion? And that is something you should get up every day and press. I congratulate AWS youth with the best life. The best life. Now, yourself is your best tool. Write this down. Yourself, myself, is your best tool. My best tool is myself. But your best tool needs a regulator. And the regulator is your belief system. If you do not have a righteous belief system, or an accurate or correct belief system, not just determined by the little that you know. If you don't have a awesome belief system, then yourself, your best tool, will not work so well. So can I share with you what drives my passion? I have 4 things that drives my passion that I'd like to share with you. Promises. Now, promises here can be either things that you promise yourself or the promises of God as Marva presented. Now, the thing is that you want to be your best self with the promises. So you don't want to promise yourself something and then it is dependent on you to come up trumps and you don't manage that. So for me, I prefer the promises of God. I run with the promises of God. As one man say, every promise in the book is mine. Every chapter, every verse, every line. I am depending on my Savior divine. That's number one of what drives my passion. Number two, the possibility of the agony of defeat. That drives my passion. I don't want to go there. I don't want to go there. The possibility of the agony of defeat. I've had little tastes of the agony of defeat in life, in sports in general, and so on, and I don't like it. So it drives my passion to work against that. Number three, the joy of victory. I love to win, and I love to win big, and I love to win with number four, my contributions to the success and peace of others. That's number four. I love to win big, and I love to win for myself and for others. My contribution to your success. If I have done anything and I have said anything in any way to help you to make it a success, to make your life a success, it drives my passion to move to another level. And I want to thank you very much for listening to Julie, listening to Kashi, listening to Marva, listening to me, and putting it all together and say, I now can press my talent line. And I will not be frustrating myself and wondering, struggling to find the right way to choose, but I can speak to the good life. And just fancy can't be the good life. Just fancy can't be the good life. You have to have a life of peace and success to call it the good life. You can't live your life with people always having to stretch out their hand. I mean, that will never stop because we all have to depend on one another. And in a righteous way, we all have to use one another to get there, to get ahead. But just to be in the struggle of always being confused and somebody have to come pick you up off of the corner and pick you up off of the heap and whatever, it's not a good thing. Speak to the good life from now, and by faith, get there. Work with the challenges that you have. Work with the mentors that you can find. Seek to find the best information. Present that before God so that God can give you your knowledge out of all of this. Ladies and gentlemen, we hope that we would have helped to move you to a better level. Thank you. Thank you very much. Uncle Richie?
Thank you very much, Apostle Steele. That is an awesome, awesome presentation. And I was typing some, I was writing some, and my conclusion is what you have heard today, take it on as your own. That is my suggestion. We at the Dr. Youth Foundation have come and made opportunities available that when we follow in these instructions and these suggestions, we can have the good life, peace and success. One thing I'd love to relate with what the senior Apostle Steele just said, in particular, that fourth thing, what drives my passion, how it contributes to other person's joy and success. That drives me too. And I'm hoping that what you heard tonight brings about a similar conviction and similar direction and passion. So thanks again to Marvo and to Apostle Steele for the presentation tonight. Could you drop some emojis and some sevens and some fire and some hands in the chat down to show appreciation to these two awesome people, awesome people who coming out of this evening will help to shape the life of many persons. This session is being recorded and we are going to share the link in our WhatsApp group. If you're not in a WhatsApp group, you can always contact us at the AYF and we will send it to you, or go to our YouTube channel and watch this and pause it, listen, take your notes and share it with someone. There are many persons who are not on tonight that could benefit from this tonight. So thanks again to Evangelist Mavornin Edwards and Senior Apostle Dr. Selvin George Watson for the very impactful presentation this evening. And in that line, I want to say congratulations to Mavornin, Evangelist Mavornin, who in recent time has been asked to serve in the capacity of director in the Dr. Youth Foundation in charge of personal development. Congratulations to Mavornin Edwards. Could you just put some chat, some chat, some fire and some sevens in the chat as we say congratulations to Mavornin, our newest director on the board of the Dr. Youth Foundation. She is now in charge of our personal development sessions happening on a Friday like this. So I'm having a baton change over this evening to Marva. We also want to say congratulations from the Dr. Youth Foundation for Alicia Senior, who now is in the office of our newest director of mentorship. Say some congratulations in the chat for Alicia Senior, my big friend Al from long time. He's now directing mentorship with yes, Jacqueline Johnson. Jackie has been someone who has been passionate about following the principles that Apostle Steele has been teaching over the years, and she loves working with young people. So Jacqueline and Alicia are newest directors sharing responsibility of our mentorship. All right, thank you very much, Jackie. Thank you, Al, for coming on board. Last week I announced it, but I want to say congratulations again to Jennifer Williams. Jennifer is in where are you again? On Toronto.
Yeah, you can call it Toronto. That's fine.
Toronto. All right. I don't want to call it wrong. Where exactly is it?
Well, I live in Brampton, Ontario. That's where I am.
Brampton.
Yes.
Ontario. All right. Let's just call it correct. Because if I come to visit you and I go to Toronto, I go pay my bus fee, okay? Welcome, Jennifer, who is our newest director of scholarship and fundraising. Oh, we are very happy to have Jennifer on board, and we're looking forward to get a whole lot of money so that we can help our young people. Welcome again, Jennifer. And Mr. Scholarship, the CEO of Scholarship Jamaica, is on our board. He's on the board of AY Foundation. Christopher Grant. Welcome, Chris. Chris is now our Director of Scholarship and Education. So we'll be putting some some programs in place according to these portfolio responsibility to make sure that all our mentees and our mentors benefit even more than in our first year as the Adopt a Youth Foundation. Please help me welcome Christopher Grant.
Thank you, sir.
Who is now, welcome Chris, love you man.
Thank you, sir.
Good to have you on board.
My pleasure. I really look forward to the challenge. Thank you.
Bless up, bless up. And you know her as one of our mentors, and she has been active for a long time. But now officially, we call her Director of Social Media. Our Director of Social Media, Rashay Gordon. Welcome to the board, Rashay, as our newest Director of Social Media. The thing sell off, you know. To the world, Rashay. That's our girl, Shay. Now these people are pushing their talent line. They have recognized a calling. And as Marva said in our song, like my calling's calling, right? They recognize and they have responded. So welcome, Rashay, newest Director of Social Media. Here is a lovely surprise on the book. Our newest administrative assistant to the board of the Adopt a Youth Foundation is one of our presenter from 2 weeks ago, Julian Senior. Julian Senior. Congrats, Julian Senior. Welcome to the board. Welcome to the Adopt a Youth Foundation leadership team as our newest administrative assistant. We thank all the persons who have given themselves to press their talent line so that we can, under God, increase in beauty, fellowship, and prosperity. And in pushing our talent line, play our part in advancing the welfare of all our youths in AYF and the whole human race. Thank you very much. I don't know if our President Julian wants to say anything before I hand over to our Director Mavorny, who's going to take us over on the other side. Right? Julian?
Just to say, happy to have everybody on board. It's our pleasure. We have fun, we play hard, and we work hard. That's what we do. We do everything hard because we hope to achieve a lot. And I know the team that we have will do very well, believe you me. And I'm very grateful for everybody who started with us. Some started and did not continue, but that's fine because we don't expect everybody to stay all the time, but we expect that when you're here, you're impactful. And thank you very much. Thank you very much, Richard.
All right, thanks, President Julian. This Wonder Woman, Mavorny Edwards, she's gonna take over from me now as we go over into Youths in Expression, the AWC Youths in Expression. Marva, take it away.